Hey, how's it going? Jocelyn here with Meliora Mentor. If you don't know already, Meliora means better in Latin. I want to help you find better because I have found better. I found a better life. I found a better motherhood. I found better pregnancies through changing my thoughts. It's crazy how much power our thinking has on the results that we reap in our lives. And I'm trying to share that knowledge and information with you on this podcast. So thanks for tuning in. Today we are actually going to talk about my family's current screen time habits. If you haven't already given me a rating and review on iTunes, could you please do that? I'm trying to get 100 reviews on iTunes this year to help this podcast to be found by other mothers who want to find better, who want to find a better life through changing their thoughts. It is doable because I've done it, and I'm here to help you through. So if you would give me a rating and review, I would really appreciate it. On to our episode. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, the host of the Meliora Mentor podcast. Meliora means better in Latin. I encourage better thoughts for a better you and a better life through taking small steps in thought and action. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps without making drastic changes to their everyday life, and I can help you. Thanks for joining. She had to smile to herself. She was so grateful for the little children around her, for her children, for how well they were playing together as they had made a blanket track. They had dropped a blanket on the floor and it made little bumps and rivets and hills and mountains and valleys, and all three of them were knelt together, lining up their rows of cars that they specifically had chosen, and going them around the rips, dips, and divots, up the mountains, down the valleys, and having a stupendous time playing together, letting their cars go in their lines and then following the other lines of cars, and creating this big mountain rally with their cars, and talking and laughing and enjoying each other's company. It just made her heart so happy to see them playing so good. Have you ever had those picture perfect moments where your kids are playing so well together and you just have to sit back and love it and smile to yourself about how blissful this special moment is? Now, I know those moments don't always happen. There can be fighting, there can be bickering, there can be other things going on to distract. But I've found that when my kids are on screens less, they actually get along more. Screens tend to make children a little grumpy, and I did not do research on this, so a lot of these things that I'm going to say just come from memory. But I'm sure there's evidence on it. You'll just have to look it up after. But screens are really not great for our children. And I remember when Riker, my first son, my oldest, was young, and he was getting a little bigger and starting to not want naps. I was a little bit terrified at losing that nap time. And I was like thinking about doing like an afternoon video. And there was something about that was not jiving with me at all. And I remember listening to a Power of Moms podcast. I used to really enjoy their podcast episodes. They really helped shape me in the younger years. Well, I'm still in the younger years. He's only 8, but younger than that when I had only like 1 or 2 kids. So anyways, this episode was, if I remember right, it was with Amy McCready, and she was talking kind of about positive discipline. But I was also applying it for some reason in my mind to the area of screen time. And it was something to the effect of begin with the end in mind. So if in the end you don't want to be watching TV in the middle of the day, then you need to start that way. Or at least that was the thought that had come to my mind. So I was like, okay, we are just going to do this. I did not grow up watching TV during the day. I went to school during the day, and even on the weekends, we didn't really watch TV during the day. It was more like a night thing that we did TV. And so I had this thing that I just felt like you don't watch TV during the day. Or that's kind of a mental thing that I had. And so I was like, I'm just going to keep it that way. We don't watch TV during the day. So time has gone on, and my kids have gotten a lot bigger, and they know more about TV and the different TV shows that there are, but I have stuck to that habit, and I'm very glad that I have. TV and screen time at our house is a privilege. They have to do all of their chores and all of their school before they watch any TV. I do not do long movies during the week. We only do long movies on the weekend. So weeknights, if they get all of their stuff done after dinner, if the house is cleaned up and, like I said, the chores that they're supposed to do and the schoolwork that they were supposed to have done, if it is all done, we will do a 30-minute show in the evening. And that's about it. I am probably you would say I'm pretty strict on screen time, but it is very important to me to fill my children's minds and thoughts with good things. And I notice that when they watch screen more, they are irritable a lot easier. They cry a lot easier. They get upset and they fight a lot easier. And it is actually easier to not have them watch screen time than to have them watch screen time. And in fact, if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't even own a TV. I would just probably have a computer for every now and then when I did a movie. But my husband is a movie buff, so he enjoys movies with the kids a little bit more, but that's fine. It's not a bad thing. But yeah, that is our habits with screen time right now. They don't have any devices. I do not do gaming in my home. There's no Nintendos, no handheld devices, no phones, no watches or gizmos or whatever they're called. We just do the 30 minutes in the evening if they have all their stuff done. If their stuff is not done, then it's no show. And I read books to them instead. And then on the weekends, we'll usually watch a couple of family movies, one on Friday and one on Saturday if we don't have plans. If we do have plans, we don't watch the movies, but that is where we are at, and it feels in this season like a good spot to be. I know this will change as seasons grow and seasons progress, but right now I feel very good in our decisions to not let our kids watch more screens and not let them have more devices right now. And I feel like it does create those opportunities, like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast. I feel like it creates the opportunities where the kids can create and get along together and have some good sibling fun, imagining and enjoying their toys. So that's a little of where we're at screen time wise right now. I hope this encourages you and gives you some hope in going on with your desires in screen time for your home. One of these times I really do need to do the research and give you some of the statistics on how screen time is not good for our children and their developing minds. But I didn't have that right now, so I gave you what I did have, and that is what we currently do. So how can you help your kids' screen time be a little bit better? What is a guideline or a rule that you want to implement in your home for screen time? If you want to let me know, I would love to support you in this journey of guiding our children and helping them through screen time and youth. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And most of all, thank you for implementing what comes to your mind on striving to be better. You are an amazing mama, and your children need you. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Meliora Mentor podcast, for listening, for sharing, and for most of all, applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness, so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you and a better life through taking small steps in thought or action to reach your goal. If you are one of those individuals who have an inner desire but are having a difficult time making progress in your goals, I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.